judge me.
A chilobata is a dinosaur that was discovered in Mongolia in 1989. Although it had been found in the late 1980s, it would be another 10 years until it was named by Mongolian Scientists aren't completely sure if they had feathers. Afrovenator type. Large theropod lived. Early Cretaceous, 132 to 121 million years ago. Weight, 790 kilograms, 1.742 ibs. Length, 8 meters, 26 feet. Diet. Carnivorous Afrovenator. The African hunters. Fossils were first discovered in Niger, Africa in 1993. It's named using the Latin apha meaning African, and venator meaning hunter. The skeleton found meant Afrovenator was the most complete predatory dinosaur from the Cretaceous period discovered in Africa. It is thought that Afrovenator was a cousin to Allosaurus, that lived in North America, and reconstructions have shown that it was a predator built for speed. A sauropod that was from the same time was Jobaria, and while no scientific proof has been discovered, it's possible that Afrovenator hunted it. Agilosaurus type. Ornithopod lived. Late Jurassic, 168 to 161 million years ago. Weight, 40 kilograms. Length, 1.7 meters, 4 feet. Diet. Herbivorous Agilosaurus was discovered in Asia and it was a bipedal runner. It ran on 2 feet. That was thought to be really fast. This was due to the dinosaur having no armor, which meant it was exposed to predators, and so its defense was speed and agility. Agilosaurus was a herbivorous and used its beak-like structured jaw to help it consume plants. It had a long tail which was used for balance, and studies completed think that Agilosaurus was an active dinosaur in the daytime and rested at night. Interestingly, the only complete skeleton was only discovered in the reconstruction of the Zigong Dinosaur Museum in China in 1984 and was named in 1990 by Chinese paleontologist Peng Guangzhou. The skeleton came from Dashanpu Quarry, which is one of the richest quarries. Albertaceratops. Type. Ceratopsian. Lived. Late Cretaceous, 77.5 million years ago. Weight, 3.5 tons, 7,700 ibs. Length 5.8 meters, 19 feet. Diet. Herbivorous. Albertaceratops name means horned face, and as the name and picture shows, this dinosaur had very prominent horns above its eyes, that curved out to the sides. There is only one ever finding of Albertaceratops, and all is known from a single complete skull that was discovered in August 2001 in Canada. There was further fossils found in the riverbed in Montana, but these were later ruled out to be a different dinosaur. The skull of Albertaceratops is on display in the Philip J. Currie Dinosaur Museum in Canada, and it was formally named in 2007 by Michael Ryan after he did genetic analysis of the skull. Later family members of the group would develop considerably reduced brow horns. Albertaceratops was a herbivore, and its full species name of Albertaceratops a. nesmoi is based on a rancher named Cecil Nesmo who has aided fossil hunters in the past. Barapasaurus type. Sauropod lived. Early Jurassic, 185 to 170 million years ago. Weight, 10,000 kilograms. Length, 14 meters, 45 feet. Diet. Herbivorous. Barapasaurus is one of the earliest known sauropods and is also one of the most known, as there are around 300 bones from 6 individuals. This means scientists have bones from most of the skeleton, so collectively they can see how Barapasaurus would have looked very accurately. Barapasaurus means big-legged lizard, and the first finding was in 1958, with others being found in 1960 and 1961, with all discoveries being made at the same location in central India, scattered over a 276 square meter area. The scientists concluded that the find showed they were a herd and died possibly of a flood. It was named in 1975 by paleontologist Sohan Jain, and most of the bones are displayed in the Geological Museum of the India. Beclospinax. Type. Large theropod. Lived. Early Cretaceous, 142 to 132 million years ago. Weight, 1,000 kilograms. Length 5 meters, 16 feet. Diet, carnivorous. Beclospinax was a large predatory theropod dinosaur that was discovered in Sussex, England in 1884. Only a few vertebrate fossils were discovered, and originally it was thought to be of a second species of Altospinax that was a close relative, but there was no firm proof of this. Altospinax was first described only by teeth that were discovered, and that is why it was first thought as being this dinosaur. It was later thought that the fossils came from a European species of Acrocanthosaurus. It wasn't until 1991 when George Olszewski identified these vertebrae as a new species that Beclospinax was first named. Its name was after the fossil hunter from England who discovered the vertebrae, Samuel Beckles. Little would Samuel have known that his find would cause such debate and confusion in the forthcoming years. It's also been hard for scientists with just these fossils remains to estimate Beclospinax's shape and size. Carcharodontosaurus. Type. Large theropod. Lived. Late Cretaceous, 155 to 145 million years ago. Weight, 15,000 kilograms. Length 15 meters, 49 feet. Diet, carnivorous. Carcharodontosaurus was a large theropod dinosaur, and in fact it was as large, or even larger than Tyrannosaurus, Spinosaurus, and Giganotosaurus, and was given its name after a shark, as Carcharodontosaurus means jagged teeth lizard. Its teeth, as the above may suggest, were long and serrated and were said to be up to 8 inches long. It had an enormous and powerful jaw and neck muscles, and therefore would have been able to lift up animals that weighed nearly a ton. It was a very dominating predator. Carcharodontosaurus lived in what is now northern Africa, with the first remains being discovered in Algeria in 1924 when 2 large teeth were found. At the time in the late Cretaceous period, South America had broken away from Africa, and that is why its relatives, including Tyrannosaurus, were so similar in size and shape. The environment they were in would also have been similar, warm and humid. Chunkingosaurus type. Sauropod lived. Late Jurassic, 159 to 142 million years ago. Weight, 1,000 to 3,000 kilograms. Length 4 to 5 meters, 13 to 16 feet. Diet, herbivorous. Chunkingosaurus, the Chungking lizard, was first discovered from 1977 near the Chinese place of Chongqing, formerly known as Chungking. The name was not assigned until 1983 when a Chinese paleontologist, Dong Jiming, named the find. Chunkingosaurus was a stegosaur, which meant it was a herbivore and was around at the same time as other large plant-eating dinosaurs such as Chillingosaurus, It also had to avoid the presence of theropods such as Yanchuanosaurus, who may have preyed on Chunkingosaurus, as a stegosaur Chunkingosaurus had 2 rows of plates and spines. Late Jurassic, 154 to 152 million years ago. Weight, 20,000 kilograms. Length 23 meters, 43 feet. Diet, herbivorous. Diplodocus was one of the longest land animals that has ever lived. It was longer than a tennis court and weighed as much as 2 fully grown elephants combined. If you took 20 10-year-old children and lied them down so that they were head to foot together, that would be close enough to demonstrate the size of the Diplodocus. Diplodocus ate plants and was able to reach plants both on the ground and high in the trees. Scientists have also speculated that they even fed on submerged water pants that were located on riverbeds. Interestingly, the Diplodocus had forward-pointing teeth that were bunched and at the front of its mouth. The teeth were delicate and would be replaced rapidly. One study conducted that its tooth replacement rate was 1 every 35 days. If that was the case, it meant the Diplodocus ate abrasive foods. According to one study, the Diplodocus could not have been able to strip bark off trees due to its jaw muscles being able to move sideways rather than the classic vertical biting motion. The experts concluded that this meant the Diplodocus was best suited to eat ferns and soft leaves off of trees. Diplodocus lived in what is now North America 154 to 152 million years ago, and this was during the late Jurassic period. Diplodocus was a herbivorous and lived in an environment that had wet and dry seasons, swampy